Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Reverend Twyla Reece coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. It's so good to be with you and to have you seen this wherever it is that you may be. I haven't done a recording in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, it feels. Just following the mojo, following the energy, the vibration, and what is calling me forward. So here I am. And it's so good to be here with each and every one of you. You know, I have a friend who pretty early on during the COVID pandemic and lockdown contracted COVID. And she's a very um, intuitive person, extremely intuitive, and and even more so. She has wonderful gifts of sight and hearing in the unseen world. And one of the things that I don't know if it came to her from her COVID experience or if it was something that she was probably already working with, she said following her guidance and showing up and doing what needs to be done in the moment. That for her, planning and for her, because it works in her life, planning and setting schedules was getting in the way of her peace of mind, of her flow. And we spent quite a bit of time talking about that and how that's working in her life. And especially, she had some long haul recovery symptoms and how that was working for her in this process of healing and being present to her body and what was going on in the world around her. And I have been practicing that to the best that I can. I have a life that is not, that I do need to show up for appointments and meetings and for things that need to be done that I need to attend to and pay attention to. But even within that form of business and busyness, my intention is to still show up doing what calls me in that moment and to stay out of as much resistance as I can and not make myself push to get things done. I had a little example of that earlier today of making a phone call that I with a project that I've been working on, and it was one of those where you never know who you're going to get on the other line, what customer service person you're going to get. And each time I have called them before, I've still had questions about what my intention was and what the end result was out of what I was wanting to receive. And I've had wonderful people that I've worked with and have been given good answers, but I wasn't clear. And this week, earlier this week, it came to me and I got clear. I got clear on what it was I wanted to do. And so when I made that phone call today, earlier this afternoon, it was just boom, 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 easy. I had gotten to a place where I was listening to my guidance, I was listening to my heart, and I wasn't pushing. I was simply allowing for life to unfold in its time instead of my made up, I should do this, I should do this. The shoulda, shoulda, shouldas, and the could've, right? But instead, I could hear my friend's voice whispering in my ear, just let it be easy. Show up where you are being called in this moment. Show up with the best clarity that you have in this moment. A little phrase, a little mantra that I have been using over the last couple months also is what I give power has power. What I give power has power. So if I am showing up in my life in resistance and trying to make things happen, it's not fun. It's just not fun. It's work and it can be stressful. And things don't always work out the way that I want them to work out. There's a beauty and a peace that comes when you can allow the universe to unfold. Now, saying all of that, in our busy lives and in our world, we do need to show up. Do we need to? It's a good idea to. Sometimes we actually need to. And sometimes the circumstances around us in the world are not really what we want to see. They're not going the way that we would say, yes, let's go this direction, because instead the world seems to be going this direction, right? Without getting into politics and all of the stuff that's out in the world right now. Even with all of that, even with anything and everything that we see that doesn't feel good, that doesn't look good, are we able to still show up and take a breath, breathe from our heart, and listen for what it is that we need to do and know in that moment, so that whatever we are giving power to actually empowers us? If we are giving our power away to negativity and worry and fear and lack, we are just going to get more worry and fear and lack, not having enough, not seeing enough, being afraid every moment of our lives that the world as we know it is going to end. What if the world as we know it is in the process of transformation? What we give power has power. What we give power has power. So, what we want to do, what I'm inviting you to do, what I'm suggesting that you do, is to pay attention to the moments of your life. If you find yourself stressing and pushing, if there's any kind of resistance anywhere in your life, to step back, take that breath, and look at where you are giving your power. If, as my friend says, and she's been successfully living this way, and I do too when I remember to do it, to show up in that moment, looking for guidance, following our intuition for truly what needs to be done in that moment. Now, sometimes that may mean that we have to say no to places that we don't usually say no. That may be uncomfortable. Sometimes we all don't have the ability to do that because we do have to show up for other people and follow a timeline, right? But even within that, to pay attention to where you are giving your power and do the best that you can to allow for the flow of non-resistance. You want to give your power to the focus that is going to bring you the most ease and grace. Does that make sense? What you give power has power. So pay attention to where you're in resistance. Pay attention to what you're giving your power to. Florence Scovel Shinn is a New Thought writer. And oh gosh, I don't know when she wrote her books, maybe the 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, I'm not sure. She's been around for quite a while. One of her most popular books is The Game of Life and How to Play It. This is a quote from that book. Change your thoughts, and in the twinkling of an eye, your world is a world of crystallized. Oh, let me start over again because I skipped a line. Okay, Florence Scovel Shinn, Game of Life and How to Play It. Change your thoughts, and in the twinkling of an eye, all your conditions change. Your world is a world of crystallized words. Sooner or later, you reap the fruits of your words and thoughts. And I included in there and actions. Because for me, it's not just only about our words and our thoughts, our spoken words and the words that we hold in our thinking brain, but it's also our actions, our words, our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors. Change your thoughts, and in the twinkling of an eye, all your conditions change. Your world is a world of crystallized words. Sooner or later, you reap the fruits of all that you say, of all that you think, and all that you do. So, my friend, as you go forward in your day, in your life, in your moments, the best that you can, pay attention to where you are placing your power, how much you are resisting what is going on around you, how much you are forcing yourself to get something done, get a project done. Play around with the concept of just allowing that flow to happen in the best way you can in whatever the conditions of your world, whatever those conditions are. Even in the busiest life with coworkers and staff and family members, and even within that, there is still room for you to stay out of resistance. You don't want to give your power to resistance. You want to give your power to ease and grace, to conditions that serve you. So, the best you can, stay out of fear, stay out of worry, go to your heart, breathe from your heart, and know that you are loved. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.